Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First of all, I would like to thank the Ministry of Energy for inviting us to this conference and the Yemeni government. My name is Qasim. I am representing a Norwegian international organization working in Somalia, Myanmar, Mali. And one of our specialities is renewable energy. We support the government of Somalia now with renewable energy. But the reason I'm standing here is not to talk about what we do, but just to share our experience, of how Somalia came out of the energy crisis. So 20 years ago, I remember in Somalia, we had the same conference talking about how Somalia can get out of the energy crisis. And then people discussed and discussed, but the solution became one thing. Because of the political instability, now the private sector became the first solution to the first problem of solving the energy crisis in Somalia. So there was a lot of private sector investments, and then the energy sector was running. But the challenge came of high prices, of private sector, of course, taking advantage of the population and putting high prices. So the second solution now became, how do we reduce, these prices? And the government came in with some regulations to manage this, but also with the support of international partners who came and started supporting with renewable energy so that the private sector get the direct investments of renewable energy from the World Bank, which reduced the price, but they also increased the outreach. So that at least, started putting the prices down. Still, they were very high. And then now the next solution came because we put also a lot of, renewable energy in almost 30 hospitals across the country. So these hospitals, of course, benefited from this renewable energy by reducing the prices. Some of the hospitals were paying around $12,000 per month. And after the installation of the renewable energy, these prices dropped to $800 per month. That was almost a 98% drop into the prices. But the challenge came now, you put into a hospital, after 1 year, the system also goes down. And now the next solution come of getting, again, trained personnel on how to fix this solar or how to maintain, because without getting a maintenance support, then you cannot also rely on renewable energy because it is a high maintenance kind of investment. So that's why we again started training young women and men in the vocational training institutions, first of all on electricity, but also now on solar excellence, so that you can find whether it is a small district or it's a small or big town, there are Somalis who can fix these hybrid systems or the solar street lights or any system that is installed. So that's why I said that, of course, Yemen, is almost at the same situation we were before. If you don't design a sustainable solution when you are designing these energy solutions, whether it is the conventional or renewable one, I think we are out there to fail. So the sustainability needs to start from the beginning, from the design of the program, so that there are local solutions. Whether it's a hospital, if it is a hospital, then there has to be a technician, 1, 2, 3, or maybe 10 people who can troubleshoot these systems anytime, the system goes down. So that's wanted this experience at least to share. We're in Yemen, of course, trying to also settle here. But the idea of, also the public running, electricity on their own without the support of the private sector doesn't exist. And then the issue of just a private company providing energy without the oversight of the government is also a recipe for disaster. So the private sector and the government, need to partner with each other, and their goal should be provide affordable electricity to the population so that at least there is no energy crisis. Today in Mogadishu, of course, the prices are not as expensive as before. The only thing you don't worry about Mogadishu is there is electricity every time. I have lived in Mogadishu now for the last 20 years. The only thing you will not miss is electricity. It's always there because the private sector investment is heavy. And then the government regulation also made sure that the private sector also is not left alone to overprice this, which they can they can do. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I'm glad to be here. So thanks to the Minister and the Ministry of Energy and so the Yemeni government for also hosting us. Thank you. Salam.
المؤتمر الوطني الأول للطاقة نحو وطن متعاف بطاقة مستدامة.